All right, so I'm hoping that you did finish or try the examples on your own. I'm just gonna write the answer in first, and that way if you want to kind of move through the video, you can, or you can check to see if you did something wrong or kind of check your work, okay? So for number 2, if you wrote this correctly in standard form, you will have negative 4x to the third minus 3x squared plus x minus 6. And this has degree 3, like our first example. So that means this is called a cubic polynomial. This is a polynomial of 4 terms, is our official name. And the leading coefficient is negative 4. Okay? Now, when you did simplify this expression, you need to make sure that you distribute first. So we're going to have x minus 3x squared minus 6 minus 4x to the third. So that's where that is our leading term. So minus 4x to the third. Then your minus 3x squared plus x minus 6 is how we get that. Okay? All right, number 3. You're going to need to distribute. So we have, let's see, 3x to the second plus x to the third minus x to the third minus 2x squared. So when we simplify and combine like terms, our x to the third minus our x to the third cancel. And then 3x squared minus 2x squared, we're just left with 1x squared. So this has degree 2. This is quadratic. This is a monomial. I have trouble spelling monomial. And the leading coefficient's 1. Don't forget that this is a 1 sitting there. You just don't maybe see it. Okay? Now, honestly, if you could handle, the rest of these, it's going to make your life easier for the rest of this week because we're going to review adding, subtracting, multiplying polynomials. So here, remember, we're going to have to FOIL. So we're going to multiply these two binomials first. So if you did that correctly, you're going to get 4x squared minus 6x plus 6x minus 9. So in a sense, that's what you get. And then don't forget you have this minus 4 out here. So when you combine those, our x's cancel. So we have 4x to the second. And then we have a minus 9 and a minus 4, which is minus 13. So we have degree 2, which once again is quadratic. This has 2 terms, so it is a binomial, and the leading coefficient is 4. All right. Now, in number 5, one of the biggest mistakes I see students make is they do not remember that this means x plus 5 times itself. So when you distribute and you FOIL this out, I hope by now we're good to go. I'm going to write down that when you do all that and add them together, the terms in the middle, you're going to get x squared plus 10x plus 25. Then I'm just going to bring down the other 2 terms that were in the expression. Now you're ready to combine like terms. So we're going to have 3x to the 4th, because that's our highest exponent, plus x squared plus 10x. Now what happens is our 25 and our negative 25 cancel. So this has degree 4, which is called a quartic degree. This has 3 terms, 1, 2, 3. So this is a trinomial. And the leading coefficient is 3. Okay? All right, 2 more to go. Number 6. So all we have to do here is distribute this negative 2. So we have 2x minus 2x minus 8. So the reason I put this one on here is because your 2x and your minus 2x cancel, you're literally left with the expression of negative 8. And that is polynomial, believe it or not, as in it's a monomial, I should say. So this has one term, so it's a monomial, okay? Now the degree, since there's no variable, the degree would be 0. And so that's why this is called a constant, which we've learned way early back. And the leading coefficient, there's none. And a lot of students want to put -8, but it's a constant. There is no variable, so there cannot be a leading coefficient. Okay? Whew, our last one, let's make sure. I'm going to write this out and what it means. And I will do this one all the way with you. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to multiply these two together. So I'm going to get 3x plus 3. Now that I did that, I'm going to bring this binomial down, and then this other term. And now we're going to FOIL these two binomials. When I do that, I'm going to get 3x squared plus 3x plus 3x plus 3. So when I combine those, I get 3x squared plus 6x plus 3. But don't forget, I had this minus 3x squared term. So when I combine those, what happens is our 3x squared and our minus 3x squared cancel, and we're literally left with an answer of 6x plus 3. And this has degree 1. Don't forget that there's a 1 on the x to the first. This is linear, which I thought should look familiar. This has two terms, so it's a binomial, and the leading coefficient is 6. All right, well that wraps up our first set of notes back, and you can now work on the assignment.